Did you know that your body has its own mechanism of healing itself? And this mechanism is way more powerful than any other medication. Well, I learned that you can reverse your aging process from a guy called Mark Hyman. Mark Hyman is an American physician and author. He is the founder and medical director of the UltraWellness Center. He is a regular contributor to the Katie Couric Show. He hosts an enormous podcast, the Dr. Hyman Show, which examines many topics that are related to human health. So, in my podcast today, I want to share with you important lessons that I learned from Mark Hyman. Number one, I learned about the different types of fasting. I learned when to fast. I also learned fasting and the aspect of sleep and diseases such as Alzheimer's. I also learned something to do with the fasting for women. Then I also learned why so many people, or why I cannot fast all day. I also learned about the different or the mistakes to avoid when you are fasting and the mechanism of fasting. So if you find this information to be useful, you can subscribe to my channel. So let me first talk about the different types of fasting that I learned from Mark Hyman. So Hyman talks about the different types of fasting. Then first one, he talked about time restricted fasting. This is where you eat within the 8 to 12 hours period or window. For example, you want to eat, if it's during the day, you want to eat from 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. until maybe 7 or 8 p.m. That's the window we are talking about. Then during the night, you are fasting for a period of between 12 to 16 hours. Then the second one he talked about was intermittent fasting. Now this is the fasting that I really fear about. The ones that you take around 24 to 36 hours on a weekly basis. This means that you have at least 3 days of fasting. Then another one, he talked about fasting that mimics diet. For example, you want to restrict yourself to a diet of 800 calories in a day, maybe for around 5 days. That one is also interesting. Then he talked about ketogenic diet. This is a diet that most people know about. It is full of fat and low carbohydrates. It mimics the concept of fasting to burn fat. Then the last one that I learned from Mr. Hyman is the long-term fasting, whereby you restrict your calorie intake. For example, your goal can be to reduce your calorie intake by a third. And this can extend your life because it has been proven to extend the life of animals such as rats. So for me, I've experienced the first one of fasting within a given window, and I'm still pursuing that kind of fasting, and I will be telling you in future the kind of benefits that we'll have achieved. So Hyman also talked about why fasting works and why should we be fasting. So according to his research, he concluded that fasting is a process that mimics the scarcity of our hunting or gathering ancestors. Okay, long time ago, people used to do hunting and gathering as a way of life. So during the period of hunting, our ancestors could go to the forest to hunt for antelopes, hunt for pigs, and all those other animals. And during that time, they were not feeding. Okay, so later on, they would feed to the food that they had stored. So fasting is not something new. It's something that has been practiced since the origin of humans. Now, fasting also works because it activates conservation. When you fast, you are activating conservation of food inside your gut. And this is a mechanism that also involves repair of your worn out cells. When you are fasting, you are giving your body a chance to repair the cells that are worn out, and thereby you will be promoting what is called healing. When you have inflammation in your body, it will start decreasing when you start fasting. Then another thing, he brings in a genetic angle whereby he talks about genes that are regulating response to starvation. So when you start fasting, there are over 200 genes that are activated, and they regulate the way your body responds to this fasting process. The body responds to lack of abundance. Then lastly, why is it that fasting works? He brings in a modern diet angle, okay, whereby you are supposed to consume you have been made to consume 500 extra calories per day. Okay, and this is a change from the past years. Our ancestors did not do the same. Our ancestors were more lean in their calorie consumption, and that is why obesity is very high, especially in the United States, where there is a lot of food. Obesity cases are on very high, and this explains why the modern diets are responsible for these obesity incidences. So Hyman also taught me something to do with the concept of autophagy and the zombie cell. Now, autophagy, for the layman's, autophagy is the way your body eats own cell. So he defines autophagy as the response of the body by cleaning and recycling old cell components. Now, in the body, we have what we call the zombie cells. They are usually in senescent form, and these zombie cells contribute a lot to inflammation and aging. So if you are aging very fast, it means you have so many of these zombie cells. And when you fast, when you do fasting for 12 hours or for 24 hours, you are simply helping your body to get rid of these zombie cells. And when you are doing fasting, you are also promoting what we call immunorejuvenation, okay, which is a counter process to immunosenescence. Fasting for women who are of childbearing age. Fasting for women who are pregnant. Now, will the 12-hour fasting rule apply to them? Now, if you are a woman of childbearing age, that means if you are pregnant or if you are breastfeeding, the 12-hour rule will not apply to you. Okay? This is because Mr. Mark Hyman. Yes, you have to be cautious if you are to engage in fasting while pregnant, because fasting interferes with fertility. When you are pregnant or when you are fasting, your body doesn't want to have fertility. So women who are of childbearing age and are fasting, they are likely to lose their fertility during that period of fasting. So the bottom line is you have to be very careful if you are in this group of pregnant women or breastfeeding women. Another important concept I learned from Mark Hyman is, does fasting affect high blood pressure? Now, according to Hyman, fasting does impact on high blood pressure. He defines high blood pressure as a condition that is driven by two major factors, and I want to talk about these two factors. Number one, he talks about insulin resistance. Insulin resistance results from sugar, high glucose in the diet. Okay, so when you eat a diet that is full of carbohydrates, or diet that is rich in carbohydrates, you are at risk of insulin resistance, which is also a driver of high blood pressure. Factor number two that he talks about is the issue of sleep apnea. Sleep apnea simply means you are not getting enough sleep. You go to bed maybe at 9 p.m, but you hardly get sleep. Okay, you don't have a good sleeping habit. You don't have a good sleeping pattern, and this can be a cause of so many other problems apart from high blood pressure. So when you engage in any of these types of fasting, whether it is intermittent fasting or keto diets, it will help you in managing high blood pressure. What are some of the mistakes that people make when fasting? Now, the common mistakes, as explained by Hyman, is that some people think that if you are fasting for 12 hours during the night, then if you do 18 hours or 20 hours will be more beneficial. Now, the answer is that is not the right way. Okay, you don't want to fast for 8 or 12 hours or 15 hours. Then you want to eat a lot of calories during that window when you've broken the fast. That is a problem, because when you eat a lot of calories, you load your system with a lot of calories, and that can be a cause of more problems to your body. Then, is it effective to skip breakfast? The answer to this question about skipping breakfast is that it depends on an individual, but there are some things that you should avoid during breakfast. For some people, you can take your breakfast at 12 hours after 12 hours of fasting, while others you can take after 14 hours of fasting. But the important thing here is that you have to be cautious with the type of food that you take during breakfast. For instance, taking sugars and starch during breakfast time will not help your body as compared to someone who is taking a breakfast that is full of proteins. Hyman gives an example of his routine whereby he takes his breakfast at around 9 or 10 a.m. and he will take a breakfast that is full of proteins, and this helps him to remain clear and focused during the course of his day. So I hope there is something you are learning there, that the type of food you eat during breakfast is the most important thing. So his argument is that the typical American breakfast is a problem because most people have been made to believe in the propaganda of cereals and other starchy foods like the breads and the spreads. So instead of eating these dangerous foods for breakfast, Hyman recommends that you eat a breakfast that is full of protein and fat. So how can you control your longevity? Now, according to Hyman, there is an important organelle or cell organelle called mitochondria. Mitochondria, as we learned in biology, is a cell where energy is produced. So this cell controls so many things in the body, and mitochondria, when it's not functioning well in your body, it is the cause of so many diseases. It is the cause of heart diseases, the cause of Alzheimer's disease, is the cause of so many other health conditions that we can control using diet. And there are genes that are involved in controlling this mitochondria. So what you should be doing is to focus on a diet that can stimulate the regulation of mitochondria in your body. And this is the reason why he emphasizes on eating diets that will optimize your mitochondria functioning. When your mitochondria is optimized, you will be helping your body to heal from diseases like heart diseases, cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, and diabetes. So in summary, how can you reverse the whole damage that sugar has done on your body and longevity? So according to Mark Hyman, the following strategies are effective in longevity, that is under longevity and reversing the damage of sugar in your body. Intermittent fasting. Number 2, you have to make use of keto diet. Then number 3, you have to timing of the timing of food in your system will help you reverse the damages that sugar has caused in your body, and you'll be able to live much longer. I don't know if you have any questions up to that. I hope my summary of this finding about reversing age and fasting will be helpful to you. If you have any questions, you can post them in the comment section. Otherwise, you can support this work by subscribing